Hey everybody, peace be upon you. This lesson is concerning the second year science class. We are moving to the last unit. No man is an island. Please go to your book page 119, and here you can see warming up, showing a map of natural disasters in our country. So as you see here, for example in Bomerdes there is an earthquake. Here in the middle of south, here there is sandstorm, windstorm, and we can also sun heat also. So other natural disaster like flood. All right, and some other next picture show us the flood that happened. You may recognize this picture in 2001. Can you guess? So of course this is a flood where it's in Bubblewood flood in 2001. It was a really catastrophic one. So some natural disaster that happened passed through our country or our region. So here in Schliff, it's an earthquake. All right. Here you can see the wreckage, debris everywhere. How much the disaster can cause. All right, it's very hard time people pass through when it happens. This is Red Cross or first aid people trying to help. We're gonna see all this now. Okay, here in Schliff, last name we call it. Also, do you remember you may remember the one of Gardaya, flood of Gardaya. Alright, 2008. Really shocking one. Well, alhamdulillah, we passed through it. So, here people trying to help. This is showing what are the catastrophe that may hit the country. Always we are talking about flood in Gardaya. Just for it to remember some pictures. Gardaya, Algeria flooding, October 1, 2008. Yes, alright. Okay. Let's get back to our lesson. Here are words to say related to this topic. Word to say. The aim is how to pronounce ed ending, final ed correctly. So let's start by the first word. Here you may say reported, related to journalist. Flooded, asked, trembled for the ground or the earth, earthquake, trembled, exploded, burned, helped. Next word, bogged. Bogged means related to wet area or land. So like the flood of when the flood pass through a region. So bogged, saved, announced. Also we have claimed, blocked, worried, volunteered, to help people without money, volunteered. Starved means very hungry. Donated, to give something without asking for that, means for free. Donated. Flushed. And the last word is abd related to the water when go back and come again. All right. Next page, please, for discovering language. Before you read, we have here a picture. All right, what we call this and what organization they belong to. Here questions: what does each of them represent? They are talking about this one. What do they have in common? All right, since it's an organization, they do something, they work on something. What are they? Do the people working for them get paid or paid? Why or why not? In what emergency situations do they intervene? And the last one, which of the duties in the box below do they fulfill? We're gonna see this after. So let's go back. What does each of them represent? All right, here, as you see, this is red, both are red. This is red crescent, and this is a red cross. Red cross. One belongs to Muslims region or countries, and other foreigner, Christian maybe. So for cross. Let's see together. So the first symbol here, the first symbol represents a crescent used by Muslim agencies, also associations. The second is a cross used by other religious group. So for additional information about this one, you can also read page 135, speak about this one, red cross and red crescent. All right. The question B, what do they have in common? We can say they represent different organizations which bring relief to people in need. Bring what? Relief to people in need. And do the people working for them get paid? Why or why not? So here, no, they are not. People who work for these organizations are volunteers. Volunteers. The last one, in what emergency situation do they intervene? Of course, we have natural disasters, like earthquakes, flood, etc. They intervene in natural disasters in general. Alright, we have some here duties in the box. What are their missions? This Red Cross and Crescent. They do the fundraising. Fundraising means collecting money. جمع تبرعات. Is it their work or duty? Collecting food aid. Preventing man-made disaster. They stop disaster. Cleaning affected areas after disaster. Is this their job? Helping with medical care. And the last one, providing assistance in emergency situations. So, pause the video. Guess which one can be their duty and which one is out of their mission. All right. So here we go. Here we go. We have fundraising. Yes, fundraising, it's their duty. Collecting food aid, yes. Helping with medical care, yes. Providing assistance in emergency situations, yes. What left? So, preventing man-made disaster, it's not their duty. And cleaning affected areas after disaster, it's not their job also. Alright. How charitable are our youth? How charitable are our youth? Means here a question raised. Can people of today, young generation, speak about you, are worried or concerned about community issues, problems like flood, earthquake, and so on. It means, are they able to help and save the society, or no, they are neglected, they are unconcerned because of things, many things have changed. All right, so let's read this one. It's generally believed that young people today do not feel concerned about community issues. The older generation is deeply worried, afraid, concerned that society can't face up to problems. Why? Such flood and earthquakes, because they consider that the youth have become less charitable and thoughtful about other people than their elder used to be. All right, so generation changing, of course, but are they able to save the community and help or no? The magazine Youth 2010 has recently carried out a survey about charity among secondary school children to check out in these two questions. Alright, let's find out by looking at some of the questions Youth 2010 asked its informants and how they responded to its questions. Youth 2010 asked the teenagers if they had ever experienced an emergency situation. Interestingly, 40 of them said that they had experienced a natural or man-made disaster, and no less than 70 of them told the Youth 2010 reporter that they had felt deeply moved. Deeply moved, they feel sorry by the disaster covered in the media. When the reporter asked them whether they had contributed anything to help during emergency situations, 20 of them answered that they had donated either money or blood. 30 of them told the reporter that they had volunteered to help the Algerian Red Crescent collect food aid. Alright. The data gathered by Youth 2010 suggests that our youth are more thoughtful and charitable than some parents think. They know that they will live through highly risky times and that in such times every little contribution can help. Alright, so this is questionnaire done about are our youth charitable or no? Next generation or actual or current generation are charitable or not? So we find that there are good signs of that. They are charitable, they can help or they helped, they are willing to help every time an accident or catastrophe happened. Alright, let's see the questions that are related to this topic or text. Alright, what is the report about? What are they talking about? A report or questionnaire. In which paragraph does the author speak about the finding or results? And in which one does he give the interpretation? You know, this means the result when we do the questionnaire. We have some finding, we have some result. For example, 10 answered by yes and 5 answered by no and so on. This is finding and result. And interpretation, it means when you explain it to the people or report it. Here it's different language, using different language. We're gonna see together. Why does the reporter use interestingly in the second paragraph? Interestingly, it means like not expected. Does the report confirm the older generations worry about society or not, and why? Alright, you can go back to the text and try to answer these questions. Here are the answers. Alright, please follow the answer. The answer to the activity. The report is about youth charity. Youth charity. Alright. The author writes about the finding, the result in the second paragraph. The reporter writes or gives interpretation in the third paragraph. This is logic. Let's see what is the second paragraph and what is the third paragraph. This is the second paragraph. Let's find and until false. Interpretation here, the data gathered by speaking about this one. So this is first paragraph. It's generally believed that young people today do not feel concerned about community issues. The older generation is deeply worried that society can't face up to problems such as floods and earthquakes because they consider that the youth have become less charitable and thoughtful about other people and their elder used to be, and so on, so on. This is first. So second one, this one, finding and the results. The third one is interpretation. They say what is defined, what's the result. Alright. So the reporter uses the word interestingly in the second paragraph to show his surprise at the unexpected result of the survey, because we are like elder people was expecting to find that youth generation are ignorant, oblivion, not concerned, but the result shows the opposite. The last question. No, it doesn't. The data gathered by Youth 2010 show that young people are more thoughtful than they were thought to be by their parents. Alright? This is good signs that people are going to help and stand in face of disasters. Alright. The last part is grammar desk. Grammar desk. Some sentences are taken from the paragraph and the report, of course. Read the questionnaire and the sentences from the report, then answer the question below. Questionnaire. How charitable are our youth? The first question. Have you ever experienced an emergency situation? Yes, 40. No, 30. Did you contribute anything to help? Yes, 60. No, 10. Alright, these are questions written or exposed in a questionnaire before or the survey. Sentences from the report. Then when you report this questionnaire, you find different language. Alright, you 2010 asked the teenagers if they had ever experienced an emergency situation. Have you ever experienced an emergency situation? Asked the teenager if they had ever experienced an emergency situation. See the difference here? Did you contribute anything to help? Okay, this is answer. 40 of them said that they had experienced natural or man-made disaster. This is for this one. And the youth 2010 reporter asked them whether or if the same they had contributed anything to help during emergency situations. This is especially, did you contribute anything to help? Did you contribute anything to help? Here, ask them whether they had contributed anything to help during emergency situations. The 20 of them told the reporter that they had donated either money or blood. Alright, so questions here. Which tense are the verbs in the reporter's questionnaire? Which verb is used to report the questions in the report? Which tense is it? Okay, one by one. Which tense are the verbs in the reporter's questionnaire? Which verb? Which verb? Let's see together. The verb used in the reporter's questionnaire are in the present perfect and the past simple tense. The present perfect and the past simple tense. As you see here, the present perfect, have you ever experienced present perfect? And simple past, did you contribute? Simple past, did you contribute? Okay. Then the verb used to report the question is had. It's the past perfect, past tense, past perfect. So let's see. The reporter asked them whether they had contributed anything. They had contributed. So they use had, the past perfect. They had contributed. And here also, if they had ever experienced, past perfect. Past perfect, both sentences are in the past perfect. Yes, there are differences between the tenses in the report questionnaire and the way they are reported in the description of the results, because the reporter repeats indirectly what was said by the informant. Yes, we are repeating or are reporting. We have to change the tense, as we know. So here, past, have you ever experienced, present perfect turned into past perfect, had ever experienced. Past simple, did you contribute, returned, had contributed. Past perfect. Alright. Alright. The verbs that are used to report the informant's answer are said, from say, or told, from tell. We're gonna see it here. Verb used to report the informed answer. Here, asked, as you see here, asked. From ask, asked. Or told also, you may find told here. 20 of them told. From tell. Okay, this is a reporting word that we use when we report our speech. Alright? Okay. So, this is in general, there is a changing. So we meet next time with the practice, of course, and at the same time I give you some details about this rule, how to report a sentence from present to past, or from past to past perfect, and so on, and how the relative pronoun, the time, the place should change. For more details, please go to page 2005 and 2006. Thank you very much. We next